Hey guys, I'm Kim Greene.
I'm Melissa Street.
We are
Greene Street Beauty. Welcome back. Today's Mentor's Corner, we're talking to you about set etiquette.
Yes.
And there's a lot to be said.
And sadly with set etiquette, there's a lot of do's and don'ts. If we would say just do would be just be professional, and
Right.
the video would be over.
Right.
So we we tend to think positively and in a positive way, but set etiquette, there's a lot of don't do's. That's just the way it is. So we're going to have to talk to you about don't do.
Don't do's. And my first and foremost don't do is probably, don't back massage and get touchy-feely with actors and anybody for that matter.
There used to be a time where, back massages, and in lower budget you'll see this more, but back massages were very in and everybody was doing it. But honestly, it's just better not to do that. We have all sorts of meetings about sexual conduct and
Right.
all that kind of stuff that they're very serious about it now.
Right. I think it's too because you do when you're
innuendos, you can't do any of that.
right. When you do go onto a set, you're writing under somebody's insurance policy, and there's things that people can sue other people for loads of different kinds of reasons. And something that you think isn't a big deal could be taken and misconstrued in a different way by somebody else. Especially if there's children on the set. It's just good to be
keep it straight, keep your hands to yourself,
use your common sense.
Leave all that behind.
I get this a lot where people are on set complaining about what they're getting paid.
Mm-hmm.
And they start asking other people, well, what are you making? And what's your rate? And and I'm like, really? We're not discussing that on set.
Yeah, I wouldn't talk about your rate or, even within the same department, you don't know what other people are making or
That's
what,
right.
if you happen to have an agent and they don't have an agent or whatever the case may be, just don't,
Right.
I don't talk about money with
No.
other people.
It's none of your business, it's none of their business.
What else?
Drama, gossip and drama and the drama.
Drama.
There's loads of it.
You know what? It's hard to stay out of drama sometimes, but do your best to, just keep your head low and don't get involved in it. I really get exhausted by hearing people badmouth or talk bad about other people, especially within our own field, just posting photos.
Let's talk about that, because Facebook, back in our day, there was no Facebook, there was no Twitter, there was no phone. We didn't do that on set.
Well, and especially in film, I don't know about what goes on in your corporate world
it's
or in the thing, same thing. We actually sometimes have to sign agreements saying that we won't talk about the particular project,
Right.
or we won't photograph anybody while the film is shooting or before it comes out, in their wardrobe or in their makeup and hair.
Mm-hmm.
If they're under street clothes, they don't mind, but if they're in their costume or things like that,
Yeah.
we're absolutely not allowed. I got in trouble once.
Yeah.
My little baby short story. I was on Terminator Salvation, and there was a background guy. He was a military guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he had I did his makeup, and I did it was just sort of a weird camouflage war paint kind of thing. And he was in the trailer, and he said to me, "Hey, can I just have a picture? It's just for my wife." And he's a military guy. We used real military, and I thought, "Oh, well, yeah, I just trusted him implicitly for some reason." And I went, "Yeah, he's a military guy. I trust him." So I took a picture with my camera, and I emailed it to him from my email address. And about 2.5 weeks later, I got a call from security,
Mm-hmm.
and it was it was actually really scary. I thought I was going to lose my job. I didn't know if I was going to, have a fine to pay or something. And he was like, "Why did you take a picture of one of the people?" He posted it. Turns out he was actually an actor. He had served in the military, but he was actually an actor, and he put it on his IMDb page.
Oh dear.
And talked about the movie. So
Right.
I got in trouble, and I said, "How did you know?" And they're like, "Yeah, well, we traced it to your email address."
Right.
Somehow it was
they have people that do that.
Yes,
and I work with the police and the FBI. I mean, those guys are almost all of them are all undercover, and I can blow their cover very, very easily. So
really,
yeah,
she cannot do that.
I can't.
So bottom line again, don't.
Right, and we do need to touch on the fact that there are some makeup artists that do that have Twitter, that has, and we've done it. I've done it. You guys, if you follow me on Facebook, you've seen me post things like on my makeup table, or I'm in the blah 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 whatever.
But we're all really very careful.
We're very, very careful.
But what you see and what you don't see.
Right.
Here's another thing. Come to talk about Facebook. There's some people, and I can think of them exactly in my mind, who have a tendency on Facebook to badmouth the productions they're on. They're like, this was the worst production, and they're treating us terribly. And
I'm sorry, that is just so stupid. Why would you do
all
that?
the time?
Oh my god.
The particular person I'm thinking of actually got in trouble through the producers because they were like, one of the executives from our, is friends with somebody that you're friends with that saw the post, and they saw the post, friend of friend. And it's a very small world, and it got back to the producers on the film we were on about that she was bad-mouthing the people on the film and the producers. I mean, this is so funny.
Let's touch on about passing out, like if you're someone who's day checking, maybe or you're
what you're gonna say.
the undercutting the other makeup artists or hairstylists and passing out your business cards directly to actors or directly to producers, or you're just really, that's just such a bad thing to do.
If it's not your client or your gig, and if
filling in or you're day checking,
you
want to call it.
and trying to steal that client, because really if you're handing out your business card, you're trying to steal the client.
You are.
And let's be honest, what your intention is. And it's just terrible.
Right.
Don't do it.
And you're already hired for the gig, so why the heck would you be passing out your business card anyway?
Yeah.
Call me again. Call you again.
And I'm
not
talking
you in the first place. The producer called you, or somebody, or whoever, with your coordinator, somebody called you. It's like
when you're a department head, and even a key at sometimes, you can stand behind the director's monitor. You can hang out with the producers a little bit. You can talk to the director. You've earned that right. You're at a level where you've been hired as the department head. When day players come in, or thirds, or anything like that, and hang out behind the monitor and talk, or on their phone, or try to buddy with the director and the producers, it's absolutely incorrect. It is. Honestly, to me, that would make me not hire that person again, or maybe actually not bring them even back the next day. Like if I see you're hanging out, we're not supposed to hang out. First of all, you have an agenda, and it makes it very clear to us what your agenda is. You're trying to get in with the guys, Number two, it's not really where you're supposed to be. We're not supposed to hang out behind the director's monitor anyway. No one is, because it's disruptive to them and their thinking and their working.
Right.
So you can feel my energy because I'm thinking of somebody specific that I wanted to kill. Get out from behind the monitor.
And if you don't know where you're supposed to go, ask. That's why you just say, this is my first time I've ever been on a set, and I really appreciate this experience, but I don't know where I'm supposed to be right now.
This is somebody that's been around a while.
Yeah. Well, I mean, ask. Ask a question. To me, there's no stupid question.
Right.
And I'd rather have you come to me and say, you know what, I don't know this and I don't know that, instead of pretending that you do, and looking weird on set.
Very true. And if you don't know, or even if you do know, there's something they call the coffee clutch, where the makeup and hair people all hang out and they're talking too much, and there's too much going on. Avoid that. Yes, you want to sit with your friends or whatever, but don't be chatting while you're rolling.
Right.
And try to keep it spread out to a degree so that it doesn't look like, they already look at us as a necessary evil sometimes. Don't give them any more ammunition in that regard. Be professional.
Right.
Do your job. If you need to look at the monitor, find a monitor somewhere else. The sound department always has a monitor. If you really need to see the monitor, go way back there, kind of peek at it, watch the take once, and then go sit somewhere else. There's a way to do it. As far as when do you do touch-ups? When do you go in? How often do you go in?
That's a good one.
I think you go in as often as you need. Don't go in every single solitary take. Unless it's 110 degrees and you have to, because they're sweating profusely and you've got to wipe that sweat off. If it's like a regular set or a stage, or if you don't just go in to go in every single take. There's nothing more annoying to production than that. That said, go in every 2 to 3 takes. Don't wait 5 or 6 takes to go in, because then they're going to think you don't care, you're not doing your job. So feel out the situation on how often you should go in to do touches.
Right.
And,
I've had directors when I've gone in that I needed to go on, and the director's been like, no.
yeah.
The actor's on a roll, short of their mustaches coming off, the one that you put on. I mean, seriously, and the director will be, nope, and you have to just pull back and let them go. And, even though you know differently, it's not the time. It's extremely obvious, but we're going to say it anyway. There's no drinking, there's no drugs, there's none of that. I mean, I've been on sets, smaller sets, where, we finish, it's the last day, everything's done, and somebody's popping open a champagne, and hey, let's toast to a really good production. And, like, we have small little wrap parties, like, right away. We don't have, like, a big wrap party, down the road. And it's just really, really dangerous. Again, I'm always under somebody else's insurance. I'm riding on a different insurance policy, and if you're drinking and you get in your car and you drive away from that set, regardless of whether or not somebody said, yeah, sure, this is okay with us, you're still on an insurance policy. You're still on a clock until you're done. I mean,
and also it's very, for me, it's very unprofessional if you have been drinking at work and you can either smell it on you, or you are acting silly or strange. It happens on night shoots quite a bit, where people are like, "Oh, it's 3 a.m. Let's have a glass of champagne or beer."
Or you've been out partying and you have to go to set.
I've seen some really bad things, and it's really embarrassing, and it's really unprofessional.
What do you think? Because this is actually something that's happened to me. I'm not going to go into the story, but let me ask you. Because I'm curious, from a department head film, doing huge film. So sometimes naturally there's like this flirting thing that goes on, and I've been asked out before by not just part of crew, but I've been asked out by actors, and I've always turned them down. But what do you do what's the proper thing, I mean, besides to say no? I mean, you shouldn't be dating your crew members.
I think
and
if
things
you
like
really
that, or hooking up, as they say.
Well, what, I'm gonna have a little bit different of an opinion in that, in one certain way. If you're a single woman or man on a movie set or on a TV show, where the heck else are you gonna meet someone?
Well, yeah.
And I get that. I would think that if you find somebody that you're really attracted to and they are attracted to you, I would just keep it very on the down low. And, or if you can, wait till the show is over, and then a lot of people I've heard do that. I've been married for 1,004 years, so it's not really an issue for me.
Well, and I did meet my husband on a set, but we did keep it on the down low. But seriously though,
but having an affair with the actor who's married or whatever, not such a great idea. How about that?
Done.
I've seen that too.
Do you have any other
set etiquette?
I mean, you know what? Hey, you don't wear shirts that are cut down to here so that you can see. You don't wear hoochie mama short skirts, right? So we can see all the hoo-ha.
Leave the cleavage for the weekend, guys.
Right. So, I mean, do we have to say that? What kind of shoes do you want?
Have to say
okay,
it.
great.
I see it all the time.
True. Don't come to set wearing these shoes that are absolutely stupid. These heels that are like, come on.
Dress for the situation. If you're shooting in the desert, or it's at night in downtown LA or downtown wherever, Detroit, don't wear giant heels.
They're going to lump you in with background. Here you go.
You're a prostitute in this scene. Perfect. Go
hire the makeup girl. She's already in costume. We don't even need to send her to wardrobe. No.
So dress appropriately for the situation. And wear, if it's cold, wear warm clothing. And if it's hot, dress appropriately for that.
Right.
It seems so obvious to me, but honestly.
But seriously, if you guys are just starting
non-stop on a lot of movies.
It is. And it's hard.
Be on time, be prepared.
Right.
Be
have each other's back. Yeah. Like if somebody walks in and Kim had to duck out to the restroom or something, and somebody walked in, start it. Figure out, get the person rolling, get the actor rolling on the, in the chair until Kim gets back. She's just stepped out for a moment. You don't got to tell him detail what she's doing, or if her stomach hurts, or what I mean. Seriously, I've had that too, where people have gone into detail. Oh, Melissa has this raging headache. I'm like, really? That's really it. I think we've covered it. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye.